this is the 2018 Dodge Durango SRT. And what does it look like, you may see? It is an SUV. And when you come to Dodge, one thing you don't look for is an SUV. But this one's a good one. This is an SUV with a front-mounted 6.4 litre Hemi V8. Yeah, that is correct. It's got a muscle car engine in the front of a 5,510 pound SUV. And although it is a massive engine, they only get a measly 475 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque from it. But what they do have to remember to Dodge is that this is a car meant for the soccer mum. If they had any more horsepower, they would probably have no more soccer mums left. Now, like I said, it weighs a lot, got a little bit less power than what you would really want for the power to weight ratio, but it is quite good. It's got 295s on the front, 295s on the rear, and road tyres as standard. It is also all-wheel drive. So, you're a soccer mum, you don't really have to worry about losing control of your vehicle. It's got good enough traction. Oh, there might be a couple of wet leaves on the road, or there might be a little bit of a dirty path to go on. The all-wheel drive system's got you covered. You've got 474 horsepower right at the front, pulling the car along from a Hemi V8. And look at it! If you get it in this nice grey that I've got it in here, or a black, or even a white, you will be the coolest mum in town. And all this for only 135,000 credits. I say only. This has 3 rows of seats. It has much boot room. It has incredible head space. So your kids will be not really worrying about being squashed in. Your dogs will be able to sit in the back and probably have a play. For 135,000 credits, and you can go 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds, 0 to 100 in 11.9 seconds, and get a top speed of 174 miles an hour. And don't worry, when you're going that fast, the brakes will get you from 60 to 0 in only 149 feet, from 100 to 0 in 355 feet, so they have you covered. As you can tell, I am a very big fan of this Dodge Durango SRT. And as it goes into production this year, it is very up-to-date, modernised with technology. It is not going to be no safetyless car. It's going to be a car which will be very safe to crash, because, I mean, you are a soccer mum. You will probably end up crashing it into another soccer mum who is only going to be driving a, I don't know, a Jaguar F-Pace or something like that. This thing will take out one of them. It will go and cut straight through it. This car is great. I absolutely adore this car. I mean, look at it. It is genuinely incredible. It looks so cool. It sounds incredible. Dodge, we don't ever come to you for the SUV. We come to you for the Charger, the Challenger, the Hellcat. But you've given us an SUV, and you basically made it a Hellcat engine. I mean, if you saw the car build we did of this, you would know you could put the Viper engine into it. You can put the Hellcat engine into it. And I did nickname this the Hell Van. Even though I did put the Viper engine into it. But that doesn't make a difference. This is incredible. It handles incredibly. Its brakes are amazing. To stop that much weight with that much momentum and that little distance is absolutely incredible. 174 miles an hour in a van? Well, in an SUV, sports utility vehicle, that's incredible! That's genuinely incredible. Obviously, the main contender we are putting this up against will be that Trackhawk. Wait, yeah, the Trackhawk. Now, what we've got to remember though is the Trackhawk had about 200 more horsepower. It weighed about 2,000 pounds less, so it is obviously going to be better in every way. But it costs, I can't remember how much it costs, probably more, I'm not entirely sure. But I am speechless with how good this car is. I got it, I was like, yeah, it's cool. You saw when I did the carpet review, I initially had a really good reaction to this car. It is a very, very cool vehicle. I love this car. But when you drive it for any length of time, it is incredible. It genuinely is incredible. And, well, obviously we got to get on to see how it does against the other cars that we have tested. First, we go into the drag strip. Now, obviously, we know this thing has all-wheel drive. It has 475 horsepower, so it should get a decent time. But then again, it does weigh 5,000 pounds, and does take an incredible time to do a quarter-mile drag race. And the time the Dodge Durango SRT got was a 12.596, which is 0.2 seconds down on the Chrysler 300 SRT8, but 0.3 seconds up on that Ford Focus RS. Now, our next challenge was to take it around the Maple Valley Drift test, as per se. And if you have seen most of the kind of reviews up to now, you'll know the Jeep Trackhawk has set a very high top notch with 37,530 best lap, which is currently at the top of the leaderboard. This Dodge, though, it is very similar to the Jeep Trackhawk in the way it drifts. It is a lot of fun to slide around. You can get this thing to slide around really, really well. And I know I was saying before how you won't really ever lose control of the vehicle, because you won't. You just won't really lose control of it. You'd have to be being an absolute moron. Like me, you'd have to be ripping the handbrake to get it around the corner. But once it does, you don't really lose control of it, and you can get it sliding. I mean, you can't really get to do long drifts. It's a bit awkward doing it, but you can get a lot of angle, and it does stay in control. And yeah, this car it's so much fun to drive. And you can see, it looks really cool. You do not expect a massive vehicle like this to be going as sideways as it can, in as much control as it can, and it's not it's not really that hard to do it either. It just kind of goes where you tell it to go. It does what you tell it to do, and for an SUV, that's surprisingly well. And as you can see, I just have to do a little bit of counter steering every now and then. You can just see the wheels kind of going where you tell them to go, and it's really cool. It's just really, really cool. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be the best car to drift ever. It's all-wheel drive, it's got 475 horsepower. It's not going to spin the wheels that much, and, you know, you can get it a bit off the road sometimes, as we currently crash into the camera. But we did get a best lap of a 35,567, which puts it into 5th place, which is 1,000 up on the Mercedes-Benz A45 AMG, but only 100 down on the Bugatti Chiron. It is about 2,000 down on the Jeep Trackhawk, but never mind that. Obviously, we next took it to our test track, the Suzuka Bull Circuit, to give it the obviously lap time it needed to get. And now, when I did practice in this thing, there was one big issue with this car. It wasn't understeer. The four-wheel drive system's incredible. As you can see, we're coming down, there's no understeer, there's no oversteer either. The biggest issue by far with this car is, you'll see when we come around these S-curves and we hit the kind of chevron things, the apexes basically, and the red and white things, is if you look at the inside front wheel, is the car will sometimes lift up the inside front, which means turning becomes impaired, and usually if the front's up, then the whole car will start doing a wheelie and all front will come up, and you won't really have much to do with the control, to be honest. But it is pretty decent. Coming up to the Degners, well, rather than the second of the Degners, it is very easy to get it braked, get it turned in, and then accelerate out the end because it's all-wheel drive. Come up to this fast right-hander now, yeah, and then up to the uphill hairpin where this car does pretty well. Look, no wheel spin, it just kind of goes, and no dramaticness, no nothing. It just does what you tell it to do, and that's crazy. It's just great. Now there was a bit of oversteer coming off into here because I did leave it a bit late to turn in because I was like, man, a bit of understeer, let's kind of go in wide and then get it out well on the inside for the rest of it, but it didn't really work well. Coming to spoon, this car was great. Like I said, there is really no understeer, there's no oversteer, unless you're an absolute moron. And then it's just the massive acceleration. Look how cool the front end looks and how cool this car just looks in general. As we accelerate now down the back straight, we are hitting speeds of about 133 miles an hour coming down here, as we have to get heavy on the brakes to stop 5,000 pounds at 130 miles an hour. But then again, the brakes are incredible, we don't really need to worry about it because it just gets stopped. And now we're coming up to another downhill braking zone into 130R, and this car just stays so composed into the right-hander, and this is really good because the car does not wheel spin. It can go down into first gear, accelerate out, then accelerate into second gear, then third. Now we're on to the final corner now, and we're accelerating towards the line, and well, the acceleration isn't great because it's 5,000 pounds trying to get accelerated with only 475 horsepower, but it's still accelerating and across the line with the Dodge Durango SRT. This car got a lap time of a 2:43.385, which puts it into 23rd position, which is 3 seconds slower than the Chrysler 300 SRT8, but it is 0.1 seconds faster than a Hyundai Veloster N. Now, you might be saying, why would you buy this when you can get the Jeep Trackhawk, which, you know, is better? And well, yeah, the Jeep Trackhawk is better. There's no doubt about that. But that also came in a car pack. And the way I see it is, personally, I think this car is much better looking, much better sounding, much better to drive, more composed, and it is just better in every way. Obviously, apart from the unloading of the wheel every now and then, this car is great. And as they both came in car packs, if you have not got the ability to have the Jeep Trackhawk yet because you've not bought that car pack and you are still on the fence about buying this car pack, well, from what you can see is this car pack so far is much better than the Jeep Trackhawk car pack. You can actually make the Jeep Trackhawk using the Jeep that's in the game, the Jeep Grand Cherokee that's in the game already. So you don't really need to buy that car pack for that car, you can just make it. Whereas with the Dodge Durango, you cannot make it because we have no other cars. This is a very, very special car. Dodge have not made any car like this, and there's certainly not a car like this in Forza Motorsport 7. So, that leads me to say, if you are still on the fence about buying the car pack, definitely buy it. You get the Bugatti Chiron, you get the Kia Stinger, and you get this incredible SUV. And it will do very well, probably, if you upgrade it to a certain class. Obviously, you saw us do the silly car build of it last couple of episodes ago, and now the review, and I definitely think this car is worth buying if you have a car pack. And even if you don't have the car pack, it's definitely worth considering. I know there is like 700 plus cars in this game, and they're adding more, and you probably won't use like 400 of the cars, but this car pack is great. You would honestly be missing out on so much if you got rid of this car pack. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this review and enjoyed this car, make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below for more car reviews like this in the future. And comment down below what you think of this Dodge Durango. She is a very big beast, but is an absolute incredible one to drive. Comment also down below what car you want to see us review next. We might do the Ram 2500 Power Wagon, or we might do the new Honda Civic. It depends. But yeah, that's it from me, TMDC Hyper, signing off.